features and traits in my boxes yet.
I think
so.
I could go. So the
I haven't
stream...
put any of my druid crap in my sheet yet.
Features and traits
because I'm doing
in my
a
boxes
circle
yet.
of
I think I
fours.
could go. So the
I haven't
stream...
put
Oh
any
my
of
god.
druid
There we
crap.
go. All right. So the stream has fired up.
Does that mean you're a fun guy?
Uh-oh.
Huh?
No, I'm a fun gal.
That's a good one.
Our druid is a lady.
Yeah,
Oh,
I'm a fun
yeah.
gal.
That's... I mean... She's
Fungals
happy.
are
She's a
things.
fungal bloom.
Exactly.
So, this is session 0.1 for the as of yet unnamed evil campaign we're going to be running.
I think
And
just villains is fine, right?
say it again.
Just going by villains is fine.
Villains works.
I mean, we could call it bestowing curses instead of trading curses.
Bestowing curses. We got
I like
it's
that.
a working title at the moment. We'll
I like
clean
it.
that up in post. But bestowing curses sounds like a good strong name. We are allowing any alignment, so you don't have to be evil, but the crew seems to be trending in that direction.
Okay, but you told me that we had to be evil.
I did not say you had to be evil.
You said this would be an evil campaign.
An evil campaign.
That is true.
But you do not have to be evil. So if you wish to stray to some other alignment, you can be, but evil things are probably going to be happening around you. So
I don't think I could. I actually am not allowed to be good.
well,
With my current oath active, I have to be evil.
well, there you go. All right. So
it's not your fault. You're bad. You were
Yes.
just drawn this way.
Exactly
She definitely was.
statted that way.
Mhm.
So, I asked everyone to give some thought to their characters, and I kind of gave a little intro as to the setup that would be happening. And that setup is your group has been working together for the last 2 levels or so. You guys are starting at 3rd level, and for the last 2 levels, so probably a month or 4, you've been working together on different jobs. You have some level of maybe not trust, but at least reliance upon each other, or enough dirt on each other that stabbing someone else in the back would be detrimental to yourself. So, player versus player activities are disabled for this session. And what that means is that you cannot target your allies, this group, with hostile spells or actions.
So sad.
Now, I'm going to stretch that definition a little bit and say friendly fire is also disabled, meaning if you wish to cast a spell that is going to put one of your party members in the area of harm, you need to get their permission for that effect. If they say okay, that's fine, drop a fireball on them, I don't care. If they say no, you've got to figure out a way to retarget it, or you just don't get that cool effect. So that's what we're going to go with by player versus player. Also includes pickpocketing, backstabbing, that kind of stuff.
Come on.
So that's the rules as they stand today. If after we're a little ways in, you guys are like, yeah, let's loosen it up and just blow each other up, we'll talk about it there. The other part of that rule is the camera, meaning the game session, is going to follow the largest group of characters. So, if 2 people go off to do something else and 3 people stay, the camera's going to stick with the 3 people. If all 5 of you scatter in different directions, the camera's going to sit still until you all come back together again. So that way we're not chasing off in strange directions. Now, if the party ends up split, of course, we're going to follow up on the party as the party split goes through until we figure out what happens. So, I think that covers the basic ground rules. So now let's talk about the situation you find yourselves in. You have been hired to retrieve a 2-foot jade statue. And that statue was on a outcropping overlooking a small valley. There is some legends in the valley saying that the statue is a sentinel. It used to be carved in the likeness of a guardian god, but time and the elements have worn it away to a pretty shapeless lump. The town below that's located in the valley near the stream, full of hardy, rugged, frontiersy individuals. And near the statue, there's a small garden, and just beyond the garden, a little further away from the cliff's edge, the house where a priest lives who tends the garden and a semi-shrine to the statue. No real defenses, but it is a 2-foot hunk of jade that's part of the stone. It seems secured down to it. So to get it loose would take some effort, and your instructions were the statue, or the lump of jade, must be returned intact. So you can't break it off. You'd have to chisel around it and loosen the base to get it up and out of the stone. And you figured all this out, reconnoitering, scouting the area, being clever, that sort of stuff. But then how you got about it, I don't know. So I'm going to turn it over to you guys to talk amongst yourselves and decide, and perhaps reveal some of your skills to one another, what the plan might have been, how did it go, and do you think you made it back with that statue intact, or should I break that statue into little pieces? So who would like to start off with introducing themselves, maybe a little bit about their skill set, and what their concept or idea might be for the plan?
Hey, I apologize for cutting in here, Casey.
Yeah.
Can I have you use one of the overlays for this, please?
I am trying that. Let me try and reload that. So as you guys can go ahead, and I'm going to try and lay the overlay over here.
Appreciate it. Thank you. Stepping up. Bye.
Kind of maybe had it. About that. But I'm hearing a lot of quiet.
Well, I'll go. Why not? The name's Dullahan or you guys, I guess we've been together for 2 levels, or is this the quest that would have put us up?
So this quest is what put you over the top to your 3rd level. You've been together maybe a session or 2 before this.
Sure. So Dullahan is a vampire. He doesn't quite know how old he is. He's kind of lost count. He is very, very bored. And he's pretty much given up everything that he's given up, his castle, his nobility, his, just to really kind of spice up his life, to figure out a reason to live. And he's taken up arms with you lot, as you seem to share some of the same ideas or ideals that he has. He doesn't really think kindly of humanity. They're very much a scourge and a plague upon the land. And he doesn't really care what happens to them. What does a cat care about a mouse? So this is just really means of entertainment. And since you guys seem to share it, he's along for the ride for a good couple of laughs, and will help out where he deems necessary. His name literally comes from 2 different demons and rulers of the underworld. So he's okay with being evil, and he kind of relishes in it. He has a favorite trick he'll play over and over again. You'll probably get to that. And he's a divination wizard, so he can see a little bit into the future. That's kind of the gift he was given when he was first bitten. And as far as plan to get the jade statue, he certainly will leave it up to you mortals. He is, again, happy to assist. He doesn't particularly have a need for wealth or care about, this particular mission, but he's fond of the entertainment value that you guys are bringing. His favorite familiar is a flying monkey named of Wukong that he picked up on his journey to the west. And
All right, sounds good. So, who'd like to go next?
I'll go next.
All right, hit it up.
So, Bootylicious is a bird person, Aarakocra. He was kicked out of his bird community because most of the people up there are good, and Boody is not so good in that regard. He hit a few trees when he was younger. He's probably got some CTE. I mean, there's stuff going on in there. Anyway, he basically views humans, other humanoids, as a scourge. So he is here to watch the world burn, and if he can do it with this group, that's great. He doesn't really care either way about what he has to do in order to the ends justify the means. In other words, he'll do whatever it takes.
Sure.
And if things get too hot, he'll just fly away.
Makes sense.
So he doesn't really concern himself with you ground bitches, as he likes to call them.
All right. So
yeah, he's a dick. He's a bird jay. He's like a blue jay.
Got it. All right. So we've got a board looking to entertain himself, a vampire. We've got kind of an ass, an aerial ass as it is, in Boody. And should we kick over to His Highness over there?
Why not?
All right. Because I see another set of wings out there. His Highness, what's with your set of wings?
So His Highness is a winged tiefling, which is not the brightest of them all, but he believes he can make himself into being royalty.
Okay.
And he thinks that stealing and taking over and killing and doing whatever it takes is the way to go. So he's following this group, but if it doesn't work out, he's just gonna do his own thing and appropriate and killing and stealing and all the nice stuff. It's all about himself.
Alrighty. So it looks like we're kind of working our way down the list here. So Morrigan? Or did the tree get you?
You're muted.
Thank you. So Morrigan is a feral hellfire tiefling who has a sister that has kind of gone missing, but they don't really share the same kind of mindset. So, being fed up with the world, Morrigan is really... let's just say she feels like humans and, well, civilization in of itself is a blight upon nature. It is against what nature calls for. And so she is set on burning it all down, starting the cycle anew, as it were. In appearance, her skin is kind of pale and, I guess you could say a little powdery.
Okay.
As she has a little bit of a fungus type deal going on. She smells a little of like mold and mildew.
All right. So I got it. So I haven't heard a whole lot of planning yet. Any suggestions from Morgan as to the methods?
Burn it all.
Burn it all. All right.
I mean, it's made of stone. Burn it.
Jade doesn't
burn it free.
Jade does not burn. That's at least not at normal temperatures. So that I didn't think I was hearing a plan, but maybe I was and just not noticing it. So
my plan is to fly out with the statue.
Fly out with this. That's a heavy statue. That's 2 foot of jade. That is a weighty rock, but okay. So that's going to bring us down to another creature of pallor, Selenite.
So Selenite is a very aloof Oathbreaker Paladin. She is an Air Genasi, and her skin is like the color of solid white marble. Her eyes are also white, and her hair is like a pearlescent color that kind of blows in the breeze that may or may not exist at that moment. On her left shoulder, whenever she's not fully armored, there is actually the remnants of her original oath, which was the Oath of Law. And it is actually, looks like, when it is revealed, it looks like she actually took a hot iron to it. And the only reason she's with this group is because this is where she's ended up. Her quest, her personal quest, is to see the destruction of established laws and civilization as we currently know it, because it is all wrong, and those who are weak will always suffer, and those who are in power will always make the weak suffer, so it needs to end.
Sounds reasonable.
Especially if I'm in power.
In other words, burn it all.
And the gentlemen who refer to themselves by any version of nobility in the group may have noticed that she is extra cold to them and has probably not defended them in battle as stringently as she could have.
Okay. So the nobility, not as big a fan. Got it. So, I have heard burn it all as the plan 2 or 3 times as we went through our little mix there. Now, this is a valley with a river in it and a town and a cottage for a priest, a small garden, and then the statue. Burning it all could take several directions. Which direction did the 5 of you decide to undertake at the onset? What was the plan from the get-go?
So, question is, why did we take on this job?
Why did you take on this job? Good question. And here's what I think it was. I think one of you, or maybe more than one, had some information about a shipment that was coming in. A gnome named Nim was able to obtain that shipment and was willing to trade it to you for this jade statue. You're fairly convinced that the shipment is worth more than this jade stone would be. Nim's convinced that the statue is worth more. So it seemed like an equitable exchange. Statue for shipment.
What's in the shipment that we think is worth more?
I'm not sure. Which one of you decided that it was valuable? Who has their ear to the ground for things of value, and what would you be looking for? I mean, His Highness obviously is interested in loot, but I'm not sure he's the ear to the ground type.
I don't think I'm bright enough to know. Just for people who are listening to, I do have a 5 intellect. So it's going to happen. I'm not sure how, but I have 5 intellect.
We'll get you through.
It's going to be.
It's okay. I have 6 charisma. I get to be rude as fuck.
Yeah, there's some interesting stat spreads in this group. But I do need a volunteer to be at least the person in touch. Now, maybe you don't keep your ear to the ground. Maybe Nim approached one of you and said, hey, I've got some stuff. I'd like you to get some stuff. How about we trade?
How about if we think the shipment has magical items? And I've known this group, I certainly would want them to be more empowered to help them in their cause. That seems like fun entertainment.
there's a very good chance that this shipment would have magical items in it. However, there's a little bit of uncertainty, and we'll find out what that degree of uncertainty is towards the end of the session.
Sure. So yeah, no, I certainly wouldn't mind suggesting that we do this then to the group.
Sure.
More or less suggesting, hey, I agree with your mission. Perhaps more power would be. I hear there's a shipment arriving. If we trade a statue, I'm sure it will hasten the new world. What say you?
So long as there's things I can use to set fire to the stuff.
Oh, one can only. I love the zeal in which you set things ablaze.
I'm down. I get to shoot humans, so I'm good to go.
There you go. The reason acquired. Let's do it.
Sounds good. So, you set out, and the valley's a little ways away. It does take a little bit of travel time, but that's kind of good because odds are information won't make it back to town about your doings. It's isolated enough that you could probably get away with a little more flamboyance than usual.
Flamboyance, right?
Could be flamboyance, certainly. Now, I've heard a lot of burn it all. Do you have skills that assist in burning it all?
Yes, I do. So let's see. I am able to produce flame. I'm able to heat metal. Once per day, I can do burning hands. I mean, I have skills in burning things.
That does seem like you are inclined to the burn it all. So we do have
How big is that statue again?
Say it again?
An oil plant.
How big is the statue?
2 foot tall, made of jade. So think about a 2 foot long hunk of stone, probably weighing a good 200 pounds or so. Maybe
No
a little
problem.
more.
Nope. My strength is 10.
And I mean, I got like 20 flasks of oil. It's okay.
Sure.
Yeah, you can lube it up.
I was
Wow.
thinking more set it on fire, but okay.
I'm sure the Paladin and I can hoist plenty of. She looks very healthy.
Whatever, let's just get this done.
All right. So, village down in the valley. Little stream runs through the middle. Up the valley's edges, towards the top. Path running up. Little house for the priest. Little garden. Jade stone. Daytime? Nighttime? What's your time of choice?
Is anybody else having a hard time hearing Craig consistently?
No, that's just me. That's just me away from my microphone.
Okay, because you keep cutting out like mid-word.
Gotcha.
Yeah, we're
Yes,
used
I
to
of course
interpreting.
prefer the night.
I'm good with the night.
Okay, so
Way works for me.
sunset.
Harder to see smoke in the night.
Darkness creeps across the land. What are you doing?
Does the Genasi have dark vision?
I don't know.
I do not.
Oh. So
Down below, little specks of light as the houses light their cook fires, hang candles. A few have enchanted items creating puddles of light around their homes. The priest.
I would assume
Go ahead.
our MO would be to set some things ablaze to cause a distraction. Steal the jade statue and set the. But, of course, that is merely a suggestion.
Yeah, no, I'm good with this.
Casey, where is that statue in the map? On the map?
Oh no, not on the map at the moment. So we're just in our heads at the moment. We're thinking back.
Theater of the mind.
Theater of the mind. So
Yeah,
you've got a valley in the bottom of the valley.
Intellect.
Yep, I know. So you know what? Here's what we'll do. We'll Joe this one up here.
Uh-oh.
Nice.
That's not a nut-oh. That's beautiful art.
It's beautiful artwork.
It is beautiful
Thanks,
artwork.
Bob Ross.
All right, hang on here. Let's get us
It's
over
an
here.
honor to be compared.
Here we go. All right, we got a plain white screen here that we're working with, right? Yeah.
Joe, don't be jealous of his drawing.
I'm not sure that that's a safe thing to say right now, but we're gonna try some stuff here. All right, so let's start with my happy little stream here. Happy little stream. Streams don't usually have quite that jaggedy a line. We'll pretend, okay? And I'm gonna grab a little green over here.
There are no mistakes, just happy little accidents.
It's true.
Right.
Okay, so that's the one side of the valley. That's the other side of the valley. And we're gonna grab a little brown house right there. House right there. Like 2 houses over here. They're friends. Okay, we've got like big wiggly house over here.
Put a house where
That's
it's your world.
That is.
I mean, the house is wiggling.
The house. It's a wiggly house. It's got one of those like long wings that come out from the house. Very elven design. And then up here, up there, we've got our little temple. And then jade is green. What about here? We got our little statue. And there's a path down here, out this way. Okay. There's, a path along here. There's a little bridge. Path. This kind of path winds a little bit. It's a little swampy over there. So that's about what we got. So you've got your little village down below, down by the river. Little bridge. We've got our temple area up here. And our little jade statue. And night has fallen, so you have the run of the place, basically. They're on general watch. This is out in the frontier, so orcs and goblins and that sort of thing are around. There's likely to be guard dogs and maybe some sort of patrol. But it doesn't look fortified. What was the plan? Aside from burn it all.
Do you guys want me to take Overwatch and act as a sniper? Or anyone that gives you trouble? That's what I'm going to do. I'm going to take Overwatch.
Sounds good.
And I was muted again. But yes,
Okay.
that is actually a wonderful idea.
All right.
And I'm going to start with the big wiggly house.
Okay. And what are we going to start doing to the big wiggly house?
We're going to do a produce flame on the swampy side of it.
Okay.
And we're just going to set it right in the corner of the house. And then we're going to flee all the way across the bridge.
Okay.
Doing another produce flame on the other house on that side of the river.
I'll fly over the river, provide Overwatch on this house.
Okay. You got it. So fire starts, a little smoke, a little flame starts to build. Finally gets noticed. You hear some screams and some cries of alarm. People start banging pots together to call attention to it. Other lights start coming on. People start moving out of their houses. Now, while you're doing this overwatch above, you see people start to emerge from their homes. They're a little groggy-eyed, of course. They're stepping out into the darkness. Not all of them have dark vision. You're looking at them. Are you doing anything?
Let me see. What do I do?
I don't know.
How about that? Does that hit?
That is not a fantastic shot.
Good thing it's dark.
It is
How
dark.
about that one?
So that's better.
The first one I see.
The good
9.
and the bad news is the first one hit 2 because an unarmored person has an armor class of 10, and from surprise and from the dark, you just start murdering people as they come out of their home.
Speaking of which, I should change my alignment from chaotic neutral to, I'll say, neutral evil.
Okay, we're learning things about ourselves right now.
I go up and I'm gonna help them out.
Okay.
So, where are the rest of us? Because I can't. There's no tokens. So
just tell me where you are. I mean, this is we're thinking back.
Is this where the fire is?
We got fire
Hold
and
on.
fire.
Oh,
Fire
yeah,
and
there
fire.
we go. And I intended to set fire to that one.
Oh,
as
to that
well.
one. Okay, so we got fire over here too. Okay.
And we've got Wingy McFly guy hovering over this one, right?
That is correct.
Yeah, that's me.
And we've got some
Sorry.
dead people now showing up, like right there. And then we got a dead person.
Are there people coming out of these homes as well?
Yeah, people are running out of all the homes at this point. They're starting to emerge. They're opening up the doors. They're looking out. They hear cries of death, and they pull their heads back in. Like, wait, we might want to think about this for a second.
So if there are people were people poking their head out of this home, the first person poking their head out would get grabbed.
Okay. When you say grabbed,
Like grabbed by like the hair or the back of the neck if they have no hair, and like dragged out.
okay, you grab a villager, you drag them out. It's let's say it's a half-elven man, so he can see you. And all from the distance you hear like twang twang, and okay, let's just take a glance over in this direction. You might not be able to see this far right now, but Boody has been just taking the easy shots. His Highness has been like, I'm just gonna shoot you while you're in the house. Bam, right through the thatch. So people are dying in their homes at this point.
Oh, that's fine.
Can I shoot
That's fine
again?
because
Yeah,
the person
absolutely.
that the person that I've grabbed is getting their throat slashed.
Okay, so you just and he's just down. Just okay,
Yeah,
done.
and my intention is to be kind of at the crossroads right here.
Okay.
Where it's off by this point.
Now at this point
Because it takes a little bit for the fire to catch up.
Yeah, so you've got your fire starter. You're trucking across the bridge. As you're coming across, people are looking out, and they're just dying all around you. And you're just kind of, are you running or are you just sauntering at this point?
I think I would be kind of just sauntering
Okay, just
with another like produce flame just floating in my hand right now,
okay.
just waiting to huck it at something.
Now, so we've got our two avians, our two flying archers, raining death down upon them. We've got our death-dealing anti-paladin. I'm just going to call you that because it seems appropriate. Just dead. What's our vampire doing?
Yes. So I don't need to engage in any of this, but I very much would like to just make sure that no one is coming up behind me, and if I could grab a person. I haven't had a meal in quite some time.
Okay. Do you have a preference? Young, old, male, female, or is it just any living body will do?
I just hunger for something that is scared, that petrified. Actually, yes, anything that's scared. I would like to grapple it and then just suck the living life out of it.
Okay. So, Good news, bad news. The bad news is, as they're rushing towards you, they're not scared. They're running almost heroically, actually, towards the fire. They're trying to help their fellow villagers. However, when they are plucked from their path and brought face to face with a very pallid person, who are you iconically vampiric? I mean, do you have the red eyes, fangs? What's the face look like on you?
I'm a little bit more tan.
Okay.
And my hair is kind of that jet white. And but even if it's tannish, there is a soullessness to my visage. My eyes are vacant. If we're saying classically red, I don't know if all vampires are red, but it is. I am ghostly.
Okay.
Or ghastly. Even.
Okay. So it might take them a second or so to be like, what are you? And there's the terror. That's the tasty bit. You got it. Yeah. Disturbing. So we've got fire. We've got death from above. We've got slaughter. We've got hunger and feeding. The jade statue's up there, guys. It's up there. Any movement towards it yet? No. Okay.
I'll fly up there. I'll fly right here.
No,
I'll fly here.
Okay.
Take Overwatch. And I'll wait for the group to move.
I just wanted to make my zombie.
You can pass it restrain, melee attack. Okay. Yep. That's gonna kill it. Okay. Target dies.
So I guess where people are running, just plucking them up and maybe creating a zombie scare somewhere.
Okay. So
general more chaos. A flying monkey, zombie, vampire action happening as we're walking up, I guess. Because I don't, I'm not really running and I'm not in the front by any means, but I would want to be walking toward the statue.
Okay. So chaos ensues down in the village, and it's just. And then
fireball. As I get here, fireball.
I'd like to take the time to grab everything that's valuable on those bodies.
They're frontier villagers. There's not a lot of valuable stuff on their bodies, but you do come up with a couple of copper.
It does not matter. I'm taking everything.
Sure. Absolutely. You got a little magpie in you. I see how it goes. More fire, more death, that sort of thing. Now, our Oath Knight, you've killed all those who ran into your clutches. What are you then doing?
As long as there's no one living nearby, I'm gonna make my way towards the statue. No one, as long as they are unarmed, they are all being killed specifically with her sickle because that is her weapon of mercy.
Okay.
Just so they're all getting their throats slashed and they're just being left there because that is the gentlest way to kill.
Okay. So a few of them do eventually take up arms. It tends to be whatever farm implement they can lay hand at. One or two of them has a sword, but between the Overwatch, the fire, the surprise, and your martial capabilities, there's not much of a resistance put up. The first person...
Anyone who approaches her that has a weapon, she changes out to her Morning Star, and there's no head left when she's done. It's just a mess.
Okay. So we've got a pretty good picture painted of what this village might look like come the dawn. Now, let's pan up the valley's edge to the top where our avian friend first arrives and discovers a robed figure bursting out of his small dwelling, scrabbles to the edge of the cliff, and you can see him praying to the heavens for something, anything.
Can I fly up behind him and off the cliff?
I feel like you probably could.
What would I need to do? Roll to do that.
I feel like that would be a grapple, and you're basically just going to come down, grab hold of him, and jerk him forward off the edge of the cliff. So I think that's either going to be an athletics that's an athletics as an attack roll.
Okay. Athletics.
And
Oh, damn.
that's not a great one.
I'll scuffle with him.
So you go to grab, and he is a surprisingly stout fellow. And you're just like, "Hork!" And you just kind of stop, kind of flapping, trying to drag him off. He's trying to just go forward, and you can hear him calling out, "What? Please? Why? No!" And I think our vampiric friend was the next one approaching, correct?
Yes, up the hill with my zombie or my null and
Yes.
flag monkey.
So
Absolutely.
you see wings beating in the darkness, trying to drag this fellow off the edge of the cliff as he's dug hands and toes into the dirt, trying not to go over the edge. Are you doing anything about it?
Yes, I will assist and imply just. I guess I try to glamour him and tell him, just sleep, sleep.
Ooh, that's a lot of sleep. And he just dozes off, and suddenly Boody has no more resistance, and woof,
Oh,
and down,
I applaud.
tumbling
I applaud the jest.
end over end.
But like a really slow clapping deal there.
Yeah. I will say it's fortunate. He went peacefully. He died in his sleep. But that leaves the village in ruins. The jade statue, easily claimable when you feel the need to do so. Do you alter the scene at all, or do you leave it looking like just madness occurred?
No, I want it looking like hell on earth just came through there.
Okay.
I also want to recuperate my arrows.
Yep, not a problem.
I'll do the same. I get half, right?
You would get half of them back, but you'll have plenty of time to purchase new arrows, that sort of thing. So,
I wait for the
But I'm cheap, so.
paladin to do the manual labor.
Wow.
and then Noel's just standing there. He's like, no, let her do it.
I agree with this statement. It's your work.
It's less about classism than just how pretty I am. I don't get dirty. I'm sure you understand.
She just rolls her eyes and she's like, "You're a bunch of weaklings."
All right.
You try flying around. See how that works.
So,
Yeah, I'll give you an assist. No, go push on that.
I have hollow bones, okay? I am what I am.
I'll have my zombie give you the help action.
I don't need it.
all right. So just
She
give me a quick athletics check. The DC's not super high; it's only a 10, but you could still just wang dangle it. Nah, you're fine.
She doesn't need the help.
You're just like
Then she
crunk.
Good. I'm glad that I have found reliable associates.
All right. So, you successfully laid waste to the village. You retrieved the jade edifice intact,
And I made sure to set this on fire too.
and you also set the church on fire. So
This one hasn't been set on fire. This one is fire free.
That's on the way out.
that's,
Okay.
had to save
Don't
one for
we
the
have to
road.
leave?
Exactly.
We want to leave someone alive to tell our tale? Not that it matters.
I'm sure there's plenty of people
I'm
like
sorry,
them.
why leave filth to tell filth that the cleansing has come?
You do entertain me so.
All right. So I think I heard that was you even take the time to round up the stragglers.
Yes.
Okay. Stragglers are rounded up. You do have mobility and flight on your side, and they're just not equipped to handle this level of threat. With that all done, we move back to present day. Nim sits at a table, looking at the jade figure that you've brought. Nim's associates, the Descript brothers, as well as John and Albert, stand guard, keeping an eye out the windows to make sure they're not disturbed. In the center of the warehouse, the shipment that you'd received word would contain valuable loot as well as the possibility of magical items is laid out. If they have tampered with it, they've done a real good job of sealing the boxes back up to make it look like they hadn't. Nim's not a trustworthy person, but Nim is a business person. Nim looks over at you and says, "Yeah, you've all done real well. Thank you. Statue looks to be intact, no cracks, no flaws. There's your shipment. I believe our business is concluded. I must say I'm a little curious. What was in that shipment?"
It is no concern of yours anymore.
It's none of your business.
Our
Alright.
deal is concluded. We hope that you find more alluring business for us in the future.
That's fair. That's fair. We'll be on our way. Come along. And Nim and his crew start making their way towards the door.
And at this point, you're seeing that Morrigan is kind of like visibly shaking from restraining herself from just setting them all on fire.
I just whispered to you, let's do it.
The world is a big place. We kill our friends last.
So as they head out the door and into the night, it leaves you with a fairly large shipment. And let's find out what is in that shipment. So, I'm going to need to ask for a couple of rolls. The first one of the appropriate die type is the one that we're going to stick with. Anybody can roll, and you can decide amongst yourselves who it is. And boy, it would be handy if this thing opened up the way I was asking it to.
I nominate Ash, as she actually took this points by for her staff. And didn't roll.
And she willingly joined us crazies.
I mean, there's a lot to be said for that level of madness and luck.
Am I going to be told what die I'm supposed to be rolling?
You will. Hang on just a moment. I'm getting to it.
I don't know if you guys have paid attention to the Thursday night game, but nobody lets me do the random rolls for a reason.
Yes, but that's the Thursday night game. This is the Sunday night game.
This is an
It's
all-new set of games. So we're going to start with the pure money rolls first. So could I have 6d6? Higher would be better.
Besides, perhaps evil suits you better.
Well, we'll find out.
It's
I
not
believe it
bad.
does.
actually decent.
That's not bad at all. You find 2,600 worth of copper goods.
2,600 copper.
2,600 copper.
Is it
26
all
gold
like
pieces?
melted out?
Okay.
From the
Yep, so that's all basically copper goods that you're like, yep, we could turn this into coins, we could just trade it off as hock. It's really not worth more than the copper it's in. May I have another 3d6, please? All right. You find 1,000 worth of silver.
Just straight up silver or silver items?
Silver items that could be melted down easily. You're really not going to want to leave these as they are because they're stolen. So you'll get them smelted down, turned into bricks, blocks, and coins. And then could I have 2d6, please? And that's going to net you 60 in gold. Now, these were the heavy barrels, the ones that shook and sounded like metal. Now we're moving on to the ones that are a little better wrapped. And for these, I'm going to need 1d100. You would very much like a high roll.
Oh, wish us luck, guys. Wish us luck. Oh, man!
83 is pretty good.
This life suits you, my dear.
Could I have 2d6, please?
Not so great.
That's the first below average, but that's fine.
We'll see.
Okay, you find 3 gems, each worth 50 gold. And
I'm guessing Ash is the bank again.
Yeah, I'm doing the banking. Yes.
May I have 1d4? You would really like this to be high.
Oh, let's hope my luck hasn't run out. It is not high.
That is only a 1. All right, hang on a moment while I scroll a bit. We're still in that random mix where weird things could happen. May I have 1d100? You just got to get a lucky number. Could be anywhere. A 54. All right. Sealed away in a smaller pouch, heavily padded, is a potion. You can trust the label, which reads heroism, or you could have it identified at a later point. Okay, so 2,600 in copper, 1,000 in silver, 60 gold, 3 gems, each worth 50 gold, and a potion of heroism is what you come out with from there. It seems that the rumors of magical items weren't entirely false, but maybe not quite what you hoped for.
I don't care about the potion. Let's just divide up the loot.
How much would that potion be worth if sold?
Potion of heroism? I believe that's an uncommon, so about 100 gold.
I changed the label to evilism.
I mean...
That's true. I mean, well, I guess someone would be able to cast Identify. And it'd be hard to forge
Yep.
magic.
I say we just sell it as it is.
We have more important matters to attend.
Hang on. No, Selenite's keeping the potion.
Sure.
Oh,
She's keeping the potion.
have some use for it, do we?
Oh, actually, I apologize. Potion of heroism is rare, so you could net a little bit more for it.
And how much more are we talking?
Let's see here. Why are you like this?
Because we
Closer
were
to
made that way.
1,000 gold.
Oh. Dear Selenite, is it really worth that much to you?
I'm keeping it.
No, you're not.
Realize that comes out of your neck. 1,000 gold, split 5 ways. Believe that excludes you from the rest of the shipment.
I'm keeping it.
You're not keeping it.
The decision is
Let
made.
her just keep it, otherwise I'm just going
Yes.
to burn it all.
There are many other things that we can. Enjoy your portion of the loot.
All right, so please divvy up the gold amongst yourselves. Gems can be easily converted to gold. Money changers exist in the city. And that's going to bring me to a question. Do you have a preference for your current base of operations? I believe everyone has some basic familiarity with the Sword Coast and some other areas. We can look towards more of a frontiersy setting, more of an urban setting. You could go seafaring. You could head to Wild Chult. What areas might you be looking towards in the future? And I just saw my server connection got interrupted, so if anybody doesn't hear me, let me know.
Nope,
No,
you're good.
you're good.
I can
Okay.
hear you.
No, you're good. But you know that city that we basically burnt out would be a nice place to start.
You'd like to see your work. Commendable.
I could make my castle on it. It'd be perfect.
I mean, you could certainly claim some land. I'm not sure the site of a recent massacre is the best place to return to. There's a saying about returning to the scene of the crime, but if you wish to, try and pull that off. Certainly possible.
Well, they technically were on our land, so they were trespasser.
I just got an interruption notice as well.
I did as well.
Me too.
Yep, so did I.
So Roll20's doing its thing, but I can hear everybody, so we'll keep going.
Yep.
Okay, see, I want to go to an armorer and just buy studded leather.
Sure,
That's my main
absolutely.
thing. Alright. Okay.
Easy exchange of coin for studded leather. So, are you interested in establishing your own domain? His Highness certainly seems to be. Would the rest of you wish to support him in this effort, or at least pay lip service to that support?
Absolutely not.
I think we should take our talents on the road. There are many civilizations that we must see come to an end.
And right about now is actually a good time for civilization ending. The whole world, it seems, is caught up in drama. Cultists are on the rise everywhere. You hear rumor of the cult of the dragon. You hear rumor of demonic lords being worshipped, undead being created, great castles rising as if from nowhere, mists creeping across the land, dragons soaring through the air, and hideous monstrosities below the earth. A lot of profit to be made.
Fear is our burden.
Zombie making is good business.
That's the best way to fight other zombies, naturally.
But let's be fair, zombies are not of nature. The rot and decay is, but they are not. They will burn just as well as anything else.
And from the ashes rise more zombies. But I am enjoying this. Let us go.
As we take all of our shit and leave the warehouse, I'm setting it on fire.
Casey, how much can I sell my leather armor for? Half price?
Normally, yes. I think you might want to do this business very quickly, though. Yeah, no, you can sell your leather armor for half price.
Yes.
As the dock area, some excitement occurs. It seems one of the warehouses has caught flame.
I will fly over there as soon as I get my my little exchange.
Yep, I'm planning on us being long gone. I'm just setting things on fire as I'm walking through.
Okay.
We'll find the group.
So that's going to draw a little attention.
If anybody's looking, I'll be behaving myself, but it's going to take a while for the warehouses to catch on fire.
Well, I mean, one you can light
blaze.
from the inside, the rest not so much.
Yeah, they got windows. I can look inside, chuck in a little produce flame fireball.
Yeah, that's fairly obvious when all of a sudden there's a burst of flame and your face is illuminated from the light coming through the window. The guards know to look for that. So, how about maybe a stealth roll?
I think I could do that.
Seems like a reasonable
25?
Wowzers.
As I said, I think I could do that.
Got a little bit of a firebug going on over there, so we're going to hit the button, but, I mean, yeah. So, that part of the dock just starts to smoke and smolder and burn. As you can see, it is very damp, and there's water everywhere. So, in fairly short order, the blazes are brought back under control, but it does cause considerable chaos. Where are you guys headed, do you think? Just to the next profitable job? Or do you have somewhere that you like to go to pick up such things?
Morrigan's just kind of along for the ride.
Okay.
Any city that we go through is just kind of another city for her to burn.
Okay.
Pray tell, do we have any contacts or any idea of where we might gather a bit more power?
I mean, technically, I might know a person or two.
Sure. So I'll ask you guys to take a quick look. And there you go. You say take a look at your backgrounds. Let me know what kind of resources we have to pull from. You do have a reliable and trustworthy contact who acts as a liaison between you and a network of criminals. They're the ones who might have put you in touch with Nim. And after you were informed that that shipment might have something in there. His Highness certainly knows the lingo. And Selenite knows how to get through the red tape. Get yourselves into those cities. Now,
So she can make me a real nobleman.
Not a chance.
So it seems like cities, towns, are certainly to your benefit. But the bigger they are, the more they notice the destructive nature you might have and the larger a force they might be able to respond with. As you amble out of town, heading towards your next destination, are you thinking big or are you thinking smaller? A nice provincial burg? Fat mayor? Kind of dumb? Or are you thinking, we're ready for Baldur's Gate, maybe Waterdeep? Hey, let's head north. I hear there's some towns up there. It's head south. What's the thought process? How big are your eyes?
I think for the moment...
If we go too big, we might be getting in trouble way too fast. But
We should start small and work our way up.
See, I do agree with this.
It would be harder for us to be.
kill the bumbling oafs first.
The pawns move.
Okay. And are there any peoples that you hate or favor that you might want to go and destroy a town of elves, for example? Dwarves, gnomes, halflings? Or are there any that you might spare?
My favorite enemy is humans and
Dwarves do have riches.
and elves. Goblins.
I mean, I believe I would leave the dwarves alone for the most part. They are fairly natural, living in their mountains.
And hard to also burn.
And
You're right.
elves, they live among nature. They're a fair enough race, I believe. Everything else, though, but
So what I think the ideal target that I'm hearing maybe is a smaller town, mostly human, and located far enough away from other towns that should it happen to disappear, you might have a few days before other people notice. It'll need to be size. Go ahead.
I agree with that.
Okay. It'll need to be sizable enough to have some thievish activity and, money moving through it, a bureaucracy in place. And there are a few such towns scattered about, and we'll figure out which one we would like to head to as we pick up from there. But I think that gives me enough for our session 0 to kind of get us started in on what's going to happen moving forward. You guys do seem to be a fairly bloodthirsty crew. So I don't think I need to worry about the blood level. I see the motivation. There is some greed there. I do see the entertainment value. You certainly don't shy away from the undead,
Greed.
that sort of thing.
I like it. Greed.
Greed. A quick question. Working for others. This was just the latest job. Have you worked for anyone, and how did that go? Would you go into the employ of, say, a mage or a priest or someone of a dubious nature who wishes to employ you for longer than just one job, or are you the get in, burn it, and get out kind of folk?
I think it would depend upon the person.
agreed.
And what
Depends
they're
on the
asking
nature
us
of
to
the
do.
work. Yes.
I would say
Depends on the
bad people
person.
asking for bad things is probably going to be the way it goes.
Thank you, Mr. Vague.
The reward was high enough.
All right.
If the reward was attuned to our liking, I believe we would perhaps engage into a tentative agreement.
Sounds good. And then a follow-up question. Underlings and henchmen.
I didn't get any of that, Casey.
Sure, underlings and henchmen.
Hmm.
This could be me. This could be my connect. Everybody.
Yeah,
Yeah, I
think
think
it's
it's
you.
you. Yep, there it went. Welcome
Yep.
back.
We'll see if it's okay. You
All
guys
right.
talk.
So
Sounds
I'm
good.
going to try that one again. So underlings and henchmen. Followers.
I prefer to work alone, but whatever you guys want.
I think this is even just 5 is tough to manage.
Seems fair. So most likely any servants you have will be of the undead variety, or at least fairly mindless.
I take offense to the way that you talk about his height.
That was pretty good. All right. So that's where I think I'll wrap it up for this evening. If you guys have anything you would like to discuss amongst yourselves, certainly feel free to do so. What I'll be doing is kind of putting together a town. I may borrow one of the pre-made towns, or I may invent a new one. We're going to have a bit of a government there, a bit of a thieves guild there, some nefarious things going on in and around the area, and we'll see how you get involved or not. Now, you did just leave a town burning in your wake. Nim, of course, knows who did it. Nim doesn't really care. But someone knows about you guys.
Say again?
What's that?
Repeat.
Nim knows we.
Oh, you lost
Nim
us.
knows we burned everything.
Yep.
Oh.
Nim
He
is
doesn't
aware.
care.
Yep. Nim is aware. Nim doesn't care. But that could be considered blackmailable information. But you know things that Nim has done as well.
Sure.
Yeah.
Like steal a jade statue and set a whole town on fire.
I mean, Nim has an alibi. She was hanging out with the local lord.
Yet
He
she
did
has
say
the
he
jade.
did say no witnesses. So.
Yeah. So that's where we'll pick up next time, is getting you accustomed to your new town. You will have a dwelling acquired. You guys have enough money and resources to find yourselves a place to stay, at least temporarily, before you can pick up something a little more suitable towards whatever goals you have. And next week, I think we have people busy, but the following week we should be good.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Okay.
So we'll
Sounds
be
good to me.
aiming for
I'll set the wheel the Sunday thing.
Sunday the 10th.
Okay.
Sunday the 10th, yes. So Sunday the 10th will be the next session. We'll give a couple of reminders out to go from there. Any mechanical questions about your characters? Anything that you wanted to change now that you've had a chance to kind of talk out loud about them? Or did everybody hit it on the mark?
Probably change out a spell here or there.
Okay.
I think I'm keeping what I've got built.
Sure. And feel free to
Same
switch things around. Just try and have it finalized by next session, because next session there's a fair likelihood that there'll be some combat.
Oh, and on that note, Morrigan, she is not the Healy type.
Yeah, no, I I remember having a conversation with Ash saying, like, yeah, I wouldn't spec your character to be a Healy type because you don't want to be responsible for healing this group.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
the
It's
only
very much a those who fall behind stay behind type of group.
Yeah.
Yep.
Be a lot of first level characters coming in. I feel.
so
There's-
the
The Paladin
only,
has healing spells, but don't expect them to be used on you.
Yep. And
That's
the
true.
only healing spell that I have, quote unquote, is Goodberry. And that's mainly just for the food portion of it.
So on that note, healing potions are available for normal price, which I believe is 25
50.
gold pieces, or is it 50?
And it's 50.
It's
stealth
50.
25.
Okay. So you might want to, keep a few of those around when you have the time and the money for it. Let's see here. What else we got? Oh, new characters. If your character dies, you come in at first level. We're going to be working on an experience basis. Everybody gets an equal share. So if your character happens to die and come in at first level, they're probably going to rock it up real quick. But there's going to be that awkward bit as you get there. So do be a little defensive of yourselves.
Huh. I never realized this.
What's that?
Druids aren't proficient in any kind of ranged weapons like bows.
Slings.
Yeah, but they're weak.
Yeah, and they're not long distance weapons.
Yeah.
No.
No, you are not.
Okay, that's cool.
Let's just say that so far the druid seems to be the smart one of the group because already an ally has been made.
Wait a second. Isn't a light crossbow a simple weapon?
They don't know all simple weapons.
Don't really.
Yes, they know clubs, daggers, darts, javelins, maces, quarterstaffs, scimitars, sickles, slings, and spears.
I learned a thing today.
They don't
Javelin's
know simple
ranged.
Technically, yes, but it's not underneath of the simple ranged weapon.
Spears can be thrown, right?
Spears can be
no,
thrown.
No.
Well, yes, and she is carrying a bone-tipped spear as her
Well, there you go.
primary weapon.
Nice.
Oh, but you got darts. Darts are so good.
They're short. They're short, long range. They're not
so
Yeah.
short.
super distancy.
So
I was
short.
I was cruising for a short bow, to be honest.
Nah, you're not an elf, so you don't even pick it up that way.
Yep, nope.
Nope.
I just have no way to do it, so that's fine.
Yep.
I mean, I could take a feat next level in order to accomplish that, but my ability score stats are already assigned.
Yep. Alrighty. Get up in her face.
But yes, Morrigan very much agrees with Selenites. Down with the man.
I like it. Alright. So I'm going to go ahead and shut down the stream. Thank you all for joining me for the session 0. We've got our characters, it seems. I will get the setting together. I may shoot you guys some questions throughout the next 2 weeks, and then we'll pick back up and hit the ground running. Bestowing curses sounds like it's going to be the running title. Did anyone else have any other ideas?
No, I think we nailed it within the first 2 tries.
I think that's
Yeah,
got
I
it.
think it's good.
It's good.
Sounds good. That will become the official. I will get it logoed up, and I will take care of the icons, so our bubbles will float appropriately next session. Thanks all. Have a great night.
Thanks, Casey.
Nice.
See ya.